becoming a real estate agent hard? Let's talk about what most people do not know about being a real estate agent. In fact, in just a minute, I'm going to give you 5 things that most people don't know but should if you're considering becoming a realtor. Is it hard? That's a relative question. Do you mean, is it hard to get your license? Is it hard to actually do the job? Is it hard to start? Is it hard to maintain? Is it hard to be successful? I'm going to address all these things, and I think if you stay tuned to the end of this video, you'll be able to answer that question for yourself. Since I started in this career a few years ago, I cannot tell you how many people I've encountered who've said to me, oh, I've thought about getting my real estate license, or oh, I've always wanted to do that, or something like that. So many people have considered real estate as a career, have dabbled in real estate, or are at least fascinated by it. And what I found also is that it's one of the most misunderstood jobs on the planet. Everyone thinks that they know all about it. Everyone thinks that they could do it. Everyone's an expert. Now, I was in the same boat a few years ago. I would always take a look at homes for sale in my area. I would see the signs. When I went on vacations or traveled, I'd get onto Zillow or Realtor.com and I'd check out the market, see how much that condo on the beach would cost to buy or whatever. I actually never really considered a real estate career before just a few years ago because I thought it was sales, and I am not a salesperson. And my experience with realtors hadn't been 100% positive, but I was fascinated with it, and I thought I knew a lot more than I actually did. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Lydia Rowe, and I'm a realtor here in the Dayton, Ohio area. And on this channel, we talk about all things real estate, mostly focusing on this local area. But today, I am reflecting on my journey as a real estate agent. Doesn't matter where you live, giving some insight to anyone considering this as a career. If you've been thinking about getting your license and you need the honest truth, you're in the right place. Real estate can be a wonderful career. You have flexible hours, potential for great income, and it's certainly a job that never is boring. But it's not all sunshine and roses all the time. And there's a lot of misconceptions out there about being a real estate agent. Now, I'm not by any means trying to sway you from becoming an agent. In fact, I'm a great advocate for this career. And at the end, I'll give you a bonus tip for starting up if you decide to go for it. I just want you coming in with eyes open. And I see so many folks wasting their time and their money, not having all the facts first. So without further delay, here are 5 things most people do not know about becoming a real estate agent. Number 1, with rare exception, real estate agents are independent contractors. We do not get a salary. Our brokerages do not pay us. In fact, we pay them. No one hands you over clients or houses to sell. You're responsible for building your own business and generating your own leads. If you see an ad on Indeed or Monster or any job search that offers a career in real estate for $70,000, that is not a legitimate job offer. That is a brokerage trying to recruit you as an independent contractor, and the salary they offer is potential amount that you're going to make if you perform well, i.e. if you bring your own leads or clients. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average annual pay for a real estate agent in the U.S. is $54,000 or $26 an hour. So some might make way more and some make way less. Which brings me to my next point, number 2. Making it as a real estate agent is more about lead generation than it is about real estate transactions. This really is not a sales job. It's about relationships and networking and referrals and marketing. In order to keep getting business, you do need to be skilled and knowledgeable about the business, but no one is able to make it as a realtor without a solid business plan and a way to get leads, like clients, people who are looking to buy or sell their property and want you to do it. And this is the huge ocean that many a new real estate agent drowns in. Statistically, 75% fail in the first year and 87% in their first 5 years. If you fail in your first year, you definitely lose money. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But the bottom line is, don't let that be you. Of those who are still maintaining their license, the majority only do 10 transactions a year, with agents with less than 2 years experience averaging only 2 transactions per year. So even though many folks have their license, have had their license, or will get their license, that doesn't mean that it is easy to be successful in this business or to sustain a long-term career. Now, before I get to number 3 on my list, I just want to mention real quick that I have a national referral network. So if you're considering becoming a real estate agent, but you aren't there yet, and you or someone that you know needs to buy or sell their home now, please go ahead and fill out that referral page. I'm going to link it in the comments in the description, and I will personally interview local agents and hook you up with a great one. And if you happen to be here in Ohio, just reach out. I'll be happy to help. The third thing that most people don't know about becoming a real estate agent is that getting your license is just the entry point. You can find a brokerage to hire you, ace all 120 hours of classes, you can breeze through your state exam, you can pay your dues and gain board membership, you can attend classes at your brokerage. But seriously, until you actually start working with clients and getting through some transactions, you don't know much. There is no substitute for experience. Every single transaction is different and has different variables. Even the most seasoned agents will tell you that they encounter something new every year. So there is no arriving. It's a constant learning curve, but you do gain confidence and wisdom as you begin to work through transactions. So yes, those hours of study and passing the exam are hurdles that must be accomplished, but know that neither of those really teach you very much about the actual business. You learn how to not break the law and some best practices that you really won't understand until you're in the middle of it anyway. Okay, hey, so sorry to interrupt this amazing video. I'm gonna let you get back to it in just a sec. But when we were watching the edits back, we noticed that at this point in the video, Minnie didn't realize she was being filmed, and she was just mortified. So I don't talk dog exactly, but I think she wanted me to re-record it, and I assured her that, it was okay, that she's a dog, people's expectations on animals are different than humans, but she at least insisted on apologizing up front for any of you that are offended or at least distracted by her behavior over the next few minutes. Please don't let it take away from the content you're seeking, because there's some great stuff coming up. She's very sorry. Oh, she's so sorry. And we'll let you get back to it. So if getting your license is just the start, and how you actually learn to be a great agent is by working transactions, how in the world do you get the opportunity without any experience? That brings me to number 4. It's your business. Okay, so I told you that the majority of real estate agents are independent contractors, meaning you are your own boss. And I mean the vast majority. According to the latest statistics, only 5% of agents are employees. I'm sure that there's some others, but right now, Redfin is the only agency that I know of that actually hires you as an employee. I'm actually not even sure about that, but I've heard that either you get like a salary or they give you all the leads, maybe both. But you make a lot less money than a regular agent because they're doing all of the things for you that most agents have to do themselves, and they take a huge cut for it. Marketing, lead generation, branding. I don't know if they hire brand new agents, but if they do, it might not be a bad way to get a start. Get some transactions under your belt, learn the business. Another way to do this, but have opportunity to make more, is to join a team. Usually with teams, the team leader will do some of the lead generation, but you are also expected to bring your own clients at some point. Every team is different. If you join a team, you're gonna have team splits on top of the brokerage splits, because again, they're doing the work for you and making that investment, so they're gonna take their cut. I like to look at the first year of practicing real estate as a year of continued education, because that's really what it is. You need mentorship for sure. So whether you have a small brokerage or you're on a team or you hire a coach or you seek out a mentor, you need someone to ask for advice, to look over and double check your paperwork, and ideally be your advocate. My first transaction came from a mentor who had a client who was looking for a $60,000 house about 30 minutes from us. A first-time buyer who she knew was going to be pretty hands-on and not a lot of commission. Now, thankfully, we ended up closing on a $115,000 home, much closer to me, but just getting the opportunity and my foot in the door was huge. And I'm super thankful for that agent giving me the chance. And we split that commission 50-50. Then out of that 50%, I paid my brokerage there 36% because I was with Keller Williams at the time. So you do that math. Not making big bucks on that one. Now, this agent that gave me a chance ended up being my go-to for advice, as she's been in the industry for 30 plus years. So whether it's a brokerage like Redfin, who gives you the leads, or a team, or a mentor, or buying Zillow leads, however you do it, you need to start doing transactions and realize that it's your business. The more you do yourself, the more money you can make, and the more you get to keep. The more you're dependent on others to provide for you, the more that costs you. And it can be on the front or the back end. Like Zillow leads, for instance, you pay for monthly, and it's still up to you to build that relationship with the clients, follow up, secure deals, but you're going to get the opportunity to talk to real people looking for a house. You just pay for it up front. Then there's other lead services that don't require payment until you close. And I thought this was the best deal as a new agent because you only pay if you close. However, it's a much higher cost. They usually want 30 to 40% of your commission, and that's before your team or brokerage splits. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about brokerage splits or or splits, you can watch this video next. I'll link it in the comments. Which leads me to number 5, not all brokerages are the same. Every brokerage has something different to offer. And newsflash, they all want you. There are very few who are very picky. This is a misconception when you're first starting. You might think you're being interviewed for a position and get super excited when they offer you a job. Now, if you can't string a sentence together, or if you look like you haven't had a shower in a week, they might not want you. Basically, an interview is just to mitigate the risk. When you sign on with a brokerage, you go under their insurance policy. So if they think that you are a liability, that's usually the only time that they're not going to hire you. Otherwise, if you have your license and you're breathing and you can communicate on some level, then sure, they'll be happy to take your money. And I'm sorry if I sound negative about it. I'm not trying to be. There's some brokerages that truly do care about you, but you need to know that the way that a brokerage makes money is through their agents. And the more agents that they have, the more chance they have to profit. And they get their cut before you take out any business expenses. Hardly any brokerage takes on risk themselves anymore, besides the liability factor. You pay a monthly fee that covers your portion of their insurance and any technologies that they may offer. If they provide trainings or special lunches, it's usually the lenders or the title companies that pick up that bill. And then the brokerage will take a portion of your commissions to cover their overhead, staff, programs, and ultimately profit. Some agency splits commissions 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, you name it. Many have franchise fees on top of the splits. Some have caps on their splits, meaning that once you've paid your brokerage a certain amount in a year, you don't pay the split anymore until the year starts over. Other brokerages take their percentage no matter how much you make. Some might be 95-5 split, which sounds amazing, but then you have a $900 a month desk fee. Some charge an additional fee per transaction. There are endless ways of brokerages' relationships with their agents, and they can be structured many different ways. But the point is, they make money off you. At least if they're a successful brokerage, they do. So I recommend that you interview them instead of the other way around to find the right fit for you and your business. And know that it might take moving around a little bit to figure that out. And if it does, that's okay. I'm currently on my 4th brokerage. And if you want to hear stories about that, I'll link them in the comments. But when you're first starting out, you really don't know the business and you often don't know what you need or what you want. So it might take some dating before you find the one, you know? Or you just might need to kiss some toads before you find your prince, okay? Just try not to burn any bridges in the process. Most people in the business understand this is a business, and they won't try to make you feel like a jerk for making decisions like that. But you can't control how everyone's gonna react to your business choices, so just do your best to be kind and respectful and honest and thankful and easy to work with. This is a business where relationships really do matter and can even make or break deals for your clients, so don't burn bridges and don't be a jerk, and try to be understanding and let other people make their own decisions too. That's my 2 cents. Okay. So we covered that you are an independent contractor, that it's about lead generation, that getting your license is just the starting place, that it's your business, and that not all brokerages are the same. What else can I tell you that would be helpful? Here's that bonus tip that I promised you if you're still with me. It costs money. Since you are an independent contractor, you really want to think about it more like you're starting your own business and less like you're getting hired. And starting your own business costs money. You have startup costs, and you probably won't be seeing a payday for a while. I know that for new agents, 2 transactions a year is average. Every market is going to look different, but in Ohio, for example, average transactions are around 200,000 with commission at 3%. So if you have one side, you're looking at $6,000 split with your brokerage and your team, depending on those splits. Also, one thing to absolutely factor in is taxes, because if you've never worked as an independent contractor, that's gonna bite you big time come April if you aren't prepared. As a general rule of thumb, you want to save back 30 to 35% for taxes, and you might be cool for the first year not paying taxes quarterly, but you can expect to start paying quarterly pre-taxes based on the previous year's income, or you get charged penalties. I know it's absolutely ridiculous, especially because your income can change significantly from year to year, but Uncle Sam wants his money and he does not want to wait for it. For me, it took about 6 months to break even after school, test fees, brokerage fees, board fees, cost of signs, business cards, postcards, flyers, technology, insurance. I think average time is 12 months to break even, which isn't bad at all for a startup business, but it's not going to work well for someone needing to replace a full-time salary right away. If you have the money up front to invest and you can handle not getting a paycheck for a while, I recommend finding a mentor and building your own business. Just focus on getting some transactions under your belt that first year and learning as you go, as you build awareness for your brand, However you choose to do that, and there are so many ways to do that, just pick one or two and be consistent. Don't try to do them all. Social media, YouTube, flyers, postcards, door knocking, phone calls, expired listings, for sale by owners, pay for lead programs, billboards, one-on-one appointments, relationships with local businesses, networking. Seriously, the possibilities are endless, and if you try to do them all, you're going to fail. Find someone that you like and trust and copy what they do. Head down, consistent, working daily. It will pay off. Now, if you need to start making money right away, you might consider a team or a company like Redfin, even if it's just for a season. Teams don't often just hire just anyone though, so they don't really want to invest in you and to build you up just to have you leave. But the bottom line is you need to gain experience and you need money. So if that means making less per transaction for a while, just look at it as school that you get paid for, even if it's not very much. And maybe you'll find that you love working with a team and you want to stay, or maybe you'll switch it up once you know what you're doing. Just know that either way, it's going to take time, money, and hard work. And if you stick with it and you keep doing the things, whatever those things are, you will be successful. If you happen to be in Ohio, or who knows, when you find this video, we might be in all of the states. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about the brokerage I call home, now called NavXRealty. Normally, you either have a teaching brokerage that offers a lot, but also takes a big portion of your commission, or you have a low-cost brokerage who doesn't take much, but also doesn't offer much. At NavX, you kind of get the best of both worlds, with a very low cap, meaning that once you reach that, you don't have to pay the brokerage anymore that year, but also you get incredible company culture, offices to use, training, mentorship, and overall just a great place to land. If you happen to find us before trying a bunch of other places, maybe you can avoid moving around too much. Feel free to reach out to me or comment on this video if you have any questions, or if you want to learn more about my experiences with several other brokerages. Watch these videos next.